Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 18. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you are able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end, with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints. You know, if you want to be prepared in this world, you have to be putting on your full armor. And our full armor that we put on every day is, most importantly, like the Bible tells us, is faith, because this is where it begins. So our shield is the shield of faith. This is, without faith, we are not able to please God, and we're not able to receive anything from God without faith. Because like the Bible tells us, that we have to first have faith, and once we know we have faith, then we can receive from God. Because we have to first believe that he is, and then we have to believe that he rewards those who diligently seek him. So faith is very important. Also, the belt of truth is very important. If we don't live by truth, we will be deceived by the enemy. If we don't know the truth, if you don't know what's true, and you don't know who's real, you don't know who the enemy is, you don't know what can hurt you and what cannot hurt you. This is why we have to be able to discern with truth. Very important is the helmet of salvation, which also comes from the faith that we have. By us having faith, we are given salvation. This is really, to me, the most important thing, because without salvation, then there's no life. There's no life without salvation. Whatever little speck of life you have here is going to be gone faster than you know it. Salvation is so true, and that's why the helmet is such an important piece of armor during battle. You know, you can get shot in the chest and it can still miss your heart, you know, and you can still live. But, you know, this brain is very sensitive. Your head is very sensitive. And, you know, any arrow there or any bullet there to the head is almost always fatal. So it's very important that we have our helmet of salvation. Our mode of attack isn't with our sword, isn't anything physical. Our way of attacking is the word. The word of God is how we attack. The Bible tells us the word is sharper than any two-edged sword. And with this word, we can break down the enemy by speaking the truth, giving the truth, and by giving the word of God, it shuts down all the competition. People know when they hear the word of God that there's really nothing they can say, so they always come with the same excuses. I don't believe. But deep down inside, they believe. And people that claim to not believe in the Bible still always refer to the Bible. Our whole society has been built up on the words of the Bible, and people don't even realize when they use the word. Whenever they feel they've been mistreated or something, they will use something from the Bible to justify the way that they feel. That's because this word of God is so important and so powerful that it can break down someone. It cuts to the heart, and it makes people understand, and it can also shame people. This is why this is our way of attacking, through the word of God. Also, our feet should be shod with the peace of the gospel. We should be given the peace and the good message, the good news of the gospel, that we are saved through faith, and that Jesus has already done the work on the cross, and that all we need to do now is believe, and through belief that we can have this salvation that we need, you know, so badly. And also the breastplate of righteousness. When I think of righteousness, I think of integrity. I think of the fear of God, having this presence of God with you at all times, walking with God and being in remembrance of him. And this will lead you to being a righteous person. If you're strapped up with your full armor of God, than the enemy, which is not who you think it is. It's not somebody on this earth. It's not somebody at your job. It's not the police. It's not a different skin color. Your enemy is inside of you. Your enemy is inside of everybody else. The enemy is an invisible force of darkness that works in higher places. So it's important that we know the truth and have our sights on the true enemy, which is spiritual. And once we understand this and we have on our full armor, then there's no bigness. Something to think about.
Do take good care of yourself.